All right, this is part 3. It should be the final one. We're going over Slar's perspective here. Um, Hopefully, we can need some insight, some um, things we can work on, um, decision making, might be some mechanics. But overall, we should be striving towards getting better here. This is Diamond, so we should be striving towards Champ. Uh, See where it goes. So far, so good. Decent hit. Realize your teammate's not going to go, so you go. You jump a bit early here. Um, Nobody's pressuring you. The problem with jumping in the air is you kind of reveal to your opponents what your hand is. Right, this is what I'm doing, um, and they're able to react to that relatively easy. So if you stay on the ground in this situation, right, nobody's challenging, so there's no real rush. Stay on the ground. You can pick this ball up and you can carry it. You can flick it. You can power shot it off the bounce. Um, you can push the ball around and then power shot it that way. You have a lot of options, but here you decide you want to jump and push the ball towards your opponent, which isn't a very high percentage play. So we're looking for better high percentage plays. I also don't like you going for this boost after you make that play. You're basically saying, I gave the ball to my opponent. Good luck, teammates. Good shot attempt. That's unfortunate. Get a good beat on you. It's a really good outlet pass. It's a good attempt. It's the right idea. Way not to go for that. Way to recognize that you're third. You shouldn't be cutting across. But, however, you should be, once you recognize that Saint's up there, you should be going back this way. The reason being, if the ball does come out this way again, all right, you have some kind of angle towards goal rather than trying to hit the ball this way. You always want to try to get that angle towards goal. But you made a good stop there, so that's all that really matters. It's a good bump. This looks tempting. I would just leave it. You create confusion for your opponent, but you also create confusion for your teammates as well. Way not to go for this full boost, by the way. So you recognize the situation. Your teammate does exactly what he needs to by forcing him to play, and then you're there to make the save. Good control. Should have been probably a demo, but something to keep in mind. It's not like this is prevalent here, but you don't really need to rush all the way back. Your whole objective is to get boost. You have boost, so kind of just make your way back here. If any shot comes on, Saint is last back. He should make the save. However, if something comes middle, you're in perfect position to capitalize on it. So kind of just make your way back here. You don't need to rush. Really good control. Execution's a little off, but it was a good idea. Good read. Good read. Should be able to make that save. Either way, Delta shouldn't be here. That was a good outlet pass to you. I think you might have panicked from Delta coming at you, so you hit this away. This is a really good scoring opportunity, something that we do in ones. Not that I play ones too much, but even twos. Um, Something along the lines of like a ground pinch, where if you're up like in this situation and you jump and you diagonally dodge into the ball down this way, it's going to roll really fast over here, and he's not going to be able to catch it. But Saint had a lucky goal. It works. All right, for a kickoff like this, I talked to them. I'm going to talk to you. Um, two things for this kind of kickoff. All right. First off, we're going to talk about these two guys back here. All right. And these kind of kickoffs for 3v3, the person that's going for boost, in this case, should be Delta, should always take the boost behind the person taking kickoff. All right. The reason being, whenever you go for kickoff, you're going to make kickoff or you're going to make contact with the ball. Most of the time, I'd say 90%, you're going to land right here. You're going to try to go for this boost. If your opponents get this boost, you're going to turn this way and you're going to try to get this boost. All right. That way you are last back with 100 boost. If a shot comes on, you're able to make a save easily. You don't want Saint to go for this boost and then move up, because if an opponent gets this boost, you're just kind of stuck trying to make a save if you have to with whatever boost pad you pick up along your way. But in this instance, Saint should challenge or cheat in this matter. Delta should go for boost, and you should go for kickoff. You should try to win it. We'll talk about that here in a second. You win it this way or that way. When you get better, you're going to learn how to hit the ball with the side of your car like this, which allows the ball to roll back this way. And Delta, in this case, is going for mid or a back boost. He picks it up, and the ball's rolling right towards him. He has a great opportunity for a counterattack. All right, as for kickoffs, looks like you do some weird pre-flip thing. I don't suggest that, and I'll explain why here in a second, but I do suggest a front flip kickoff. The reason being, at the end of the kickoff, you'll have 24 boosts left over, normally. But to do that, you want to boost towards the boost pad right in front of you. Once you reach this boost pad, you stop boosting, you front flip. You'll land somewhere around right here, and you'll try to make, you'll boost towards the ball, and you'll try to make solid contact with the ball. The reason why what you're doing here is bad is you're not making clean contact with the ball. You're just kind of guessing. And kickoffs are a lot of guesswork. But if you land here and you drive towards the ball and you make a solid touch in the middle of the ball right here, you kind of judge what your opponent's doing. So it looks like your opponent, let's play it out real quick, he hits the ball along the side, all right? So realistically, you're going to hit the ball right here, and then it does not matter. Like, once again, it's probably 90% of the time you're going to side flip, all right? You're either going to side flip to the left or you're going to side flip to the right. 10% of the time, I'd say I'd front flip. But that's only when I realize my opponent is too low on the ball. If I front flip into it, it's going to send the ball up high and then go down. But that's a pretty quick read. For this instance, if you hit the ball right here and you side flip, the ball's going to go this way. All right, it's going to hit the ball right here, and it's going to aim towards their goal. So you want to have solid contact. And then you'd have 24 boost in order to race someone back for a boost. But both boosts are gone, and that is unfortunate. Way to stay on that. Don't flip here. Your whole objective is to get back and support Delta. The only way you can really do that is with boost. So get boost. Any shot that's coming on, he should be able to save, but you flip and you miss one boost. So instead of having 48 boost, you have 36. I mean, it's manageable, but 48 sounds better. You did everything right here until your jump. So you jump a bit early. You kind of need to almost predict where the ball's coming at this point. So the ball's coming over here. You realize that. You turn this way, and you aim towards the goal. And then you jump, and then you dodge into it. You still make contact, so, I mean, that's still good. There's nothing you can do about that. Delta shouldn't have gone. So in this instance, for kickoffs, all right, the same principles apply. So whoever is going for boost needs to go for boost over here. The reason why it should be Saint and not you in this instance is because if you go for boost, you're going to have to cut across him who is cheating in order to get that boost. You are closer to the kickoff anyway, so you want to cheat. Saint should go this way and pick up this boost, and then Delta does his kickoff. Good attempt. I say Saint should not be traveling down ball side. This makes this awkward for you, as Delta also got a little close as well. So I don't really doubt you for taking this slow. Good attempt. The world's half-hearted attempt at a bump. So if you're going to pretend to feint off to the left and then come at this guy aggressively, great. You just walk right by him. I mean, you should be able to jump up. The realistically, what you should do is you should be able to jump off this wall. You should be able to air roll your car to face the ball, and then you should be able to boost and then dodge into the ball, sending the ball across the field towards Delta. But I mean, you had the right idea. It's just a mechanical thing. Say, Saint must have cut you off there, but you played it well. You positioned really well. Delta shouldn't be going for that. Might have messed up your touch. Good recognition. Way to pick up the boost. Good speed towards that. That was a good opportunity from you. So we can't be traveling down ball side here. Saint does the same thing. So once this happens, you might be able to pick up that pad that's right in front of you, but I'd get out then. Because realistically, Delta should be catching this ball and letting it roll up the wall, and then he should be taking that back boost and then following the ball. That way he's able to do something with it. You should be taking that boost pad either to your right, or you should immediately be going to the left to be last man. While picking up boost, by the way. Boost pads. Say, for an instant like this, like I said, it's just, you put yourself in a weird situation. Saint got tripped up too. You want to stay on ball cam. You need to see what happens. So if you see what happens, you might not rush so much to be over here, and you might be able to get up to this ball quicker. And or you might be able to see the opponent trying to attack this. So it all depends. Don't need to rush back to this. There's no threat. Yeah, he missed. But I mean, Saint should be going at this if something happens. So keep your eye on the ball. Ball cam on. Don't need to rush this. You don't need to go into your net for no reason. It's a few times I've seen you do this. It looks like you're not It looks like you're jumping and then dodging. So you jump and then you dodge and then you kind of hover and then you land a little bit weird. So just press your jump button twice quicker. Not that it really matters. It just might mess you up a little bit. Really good. Really good control. I yelled at Saint and Delta for this. I'm going to yell at you too. Because this is still, I would say, 60% of your fault on this one. In this instance, you have a really nice touch around. You have a really nice touch here. You have a second to recognize the situation. All right. You should also have your teammates telling you what's happening here. All right. During our 3v3 sessions, we have what I have, the third person. All right. So the person who's last, quarterbacking. When I say that, I mean he's making the plays. All right. He sees the entire field. in this situation, you really want to pass him this ball. You cannot pass him this ball. Saint is in the goal. All right. Delta is last, but he's pushed up in a passing situation, and your opponents are waiting for you to pass the ball out. All right. They're going to make it clear. They're going to make a big 50. They're going to do something. This ball's not getting to him. You have to have a really good pass out, and you have to beat Darkfire, which I don't think you're going to be able to do. So realistically, the only two things that you should do in this situation is try to do a Doomsy Dish, which is really advanced, but essentially it's hitting the ball in this direction, jumping off the wall, and then side flipping into it to score. Your more realistic option is to try and shoot the ball hard over this direction to maintain possession. But as Delta is last, he should not be pushing up in this situation. Anytime, I think I told Saint this as well, anytime the ball is in the corner right here, all right, even if Saint's not here, all right, say Delta's second man and Saint's back here, your first man, you do not want to have this ball roll somewhere right here, all right? If the ball comes right here very softly or the ball comes over here, rolls, you're going to have first man attack this and make a huge clear towards your goal, or second man who's right here could come forward and hit the ball and it goes over here. It's really hard for third man, who should be back here, to go and make this save. It's really hard for second man to do anything about it either. So you can't make this pass. So you should be going for the boost. Delta should be following. I like you opening yourself up as a passing option. Way to recognize the situation. It's a little bit of a mechanical issue again. I say, let me see. Let me break this down real quick. I say you jump. Where are you at? You jump facing this way. And it's almost like you want to change your direction to score it this way, when reality is you should be facing this way. You should be jumping up and then dodging into the ball, diagonally dodging into the ball to score it this way. Or angling your car to hit it down this way. Either way. It's most aerials, or most anything, in fact, in this game, whether you do aerials or flip resets or ceiling shots, if your setup is wrong, you make the mechanic 1,000 times harder. So if you try taking off to hit the ball right here and then adjust yourself to try to hit the ball and score it in here, it's not going to happen. It's 10 times harder. So if you approach it and you just go up here and you shoot the ball down, or you angle your car to shoot the ball down, it becomes much easier. Ooh, past you. Plus, I'm trying to keep count of all the times you guys fast aerial in here. Slar and Delta might have had one. I don't think I've seen one from you yet. You guys should be able to fast aerial. It's so important to be able to get up to the ball quicker than your opponent. And so far, I've seen you guys mostly just jump, boost, which is much slower of a takeoff, and then try to dodge into the ball, which has its purposes, but you guys are missing that fast aerial aspect. All right, let's take a look here. You rush back, which, I mean, I understand. There's no one back. You make solid touch on it, which is good. You follow it up with great speed, and you score. You get rewarded. Good job. Let's again hit your kickoff there. Way to recognize Saint was going to cut that off. You stayed back. Good read. Another good read. Wasn't bad. 50 either. This is the part I think you mess up on. This gets pushed out. All right, just kind of wait here. All right, you're moving forward. You need to wait to see because you're pushing too hard towards your net right here. So you have the option to cover this. All right, this whole half right here. You don't really have any ability to save this. All right, so because you pushed up too much. So kind of just chill here. Wait to see what happens. He misses. He pops the ball. So now you go up the wall. All right, it's much easier to try and meet the ball on the wall rather than try and read the bounce off the back wall. Um, I struggle with it, and I've been in GC for such a long time now. Um, but yeah, cover your backboard because if you cover your backboard, if you go up and you cover this backboard, you're going to make a touch either to the corner or you're going to make a big clear. You're going to avoid this entire triple commit by your team. It's a really good pass by Saint. That was good speed from you. In no world should Saint ever be going for that. I also don't feel like you need to absolutely book it back. But you are. That might be the first fast aerial or speed or fast aerial I've seen you do. What the heck it's called. Can't go for this. You're in a good position for this, but there's no way this ball's coming out. You might be saying, oh, I want to go hit this ball against the wall to center it for Saint. You're getting beat. Way not to dodge into that, though. It's a good attempt by Saint. I think that was the only fast aerial I've seen Saint do in this game. Way to chip that around, gain control, get the boost. Good bump. Way to recognize that the boost back there was not there. And you got out. Hopefully you called him off and he just didn't whiff. In a situation like this, he beat you, so don't jump. Try to have a cleaner landing too. Recoveries are huge because if you land with momentum, you don't have to burn boost in order to get that momentum back. So if you land facing whatever way your direction is going, so if you face towards their net, you land, you're able to turn and go back, and you don't have all this momentum loss. It's a good bump. That was a good sacrifice. Yeah, I should have fast arrowed here. You fast arrow, you beat him clean. It was a good read. It's just you didn't get up fast enough. Your opponent did. Looked like you tried to do a fast aerial there. All right, you need to keep ball cam on. All right, you just hit the ball towards the opponent. All right, like your teammate's not going to hit this first. Your opponent's going to be able to get here, and you don't have boost, and you take your ball cam off, so you don't really know what's happening. And you go towards this mid boost. For all intents and purposes, Darkfire could be shooting this at your net. Saint has to make a desperate save. Ball's just sitting on the goal line, and Dark's able to finish. We panic. Say, I think this is Delta's ball to go for because he's closer. He should have a calm saying, I got this, or something. He makes a touch, or he misses, and you read it. I don't think you can dive there. Overtime, you get nervous. Way to recognize Saints cutting you off. Let him go. These things happen. It was a good pass over or a good follow-up attempt by you. I'm just going to maybe criticize being too close to Saint. All right, you recognize that he's cutting it, so you need to give him space here. All right, you don't know where this third opponent is. He could be right off your screen. He could be looking to challenge or dunk Saint. Um, you don't know, so I don't think you can really push up on this because you are last back. But either way, it was a good attempt. Um, it didn't look like you were trying to pass. It looked like you were trying to go in and out and then shoot. But Delta had a good shot on it. If he front flipped on it, I think he scores. I think if you go and you shoot this immediately, if you go this way, you jump up, and the same thing as what I told you before. If you flip down into this, if you diagonal flip down into this, it rolls this way and you score. But you try to correct yourself. All right, you make a touch and you do a 180. You're giving your opponents time to recover and make a save. So your whole objective here, all right, yeah, it looks sketchy because it's a 2v1, all right? But you need to keep ball cam on. You need to travel down the boost path here. You need to pick up boost, all right? So you land right here. You need to make your way towards this boost pad, and you need to go straight this way, all right? You need to pick up all these boosts, and you need to be aware of what's happening in case you need to cut off or if you need to go up and you need to make a save. But going wide, picking up 12, by the time a shot or something happened, you had 23 boost. Say in a situation like this, all right, it gets a bit awkward because you're a little far away. You are in that second man position. Saints now first man or second man. Delta's first man. You need to go over to third man. You recognize this, but once again, you're in this area. All right. You can't really do too much in this area. You need to be somewhere back here. All right. If something happens, then you're able to cover Delta. You're not looking so much as a passing option or an option that goes next. That should be Saint. And Saint should be over here. If Saint is over here, and I yelled at him in his video because I think he had like 50 some boost. If he's here, he's going to go at this and he's going to score. All right. If he's second man and he's in this general direction with 50 boost, he scores this. This shouldn't be a ball you're going for. You are third man. Your whole job as third man is to buy time for your teammates. Your job is not to get beat. So you move up too close, you can't do anything. Plus, once again, at this angle, if the ball's coming towards you, you have an angle towards net. If you are right here, your angle towards net's much harder. You shooting it off the wall is great, but having an option towards goal is better. More high percentage. It's a good bump by Saint. It's unfortunate demo, but you get the goal. It's a really good read through the smoke. All right, just like everyone else, I'm going to look at your settings here real quick. I uploaded the replay to ball chasing. It gives me a good idea of what your settings are. Honestly, yours aren't bad. There's three things I want to look at. Steering sensitivity, I kind of explained it to them. I'll explain it to you real quick too. You have yours set to 1, meaning for every input you make, it's 1-to-1. So as much as you turn the stick is how much you turn, which is fine. But if you want to experiment and increase that a little bit, what it does is it registers your turn faster. So if 1-to-1 has whatever input you make is the turn you make, 2 sensitivity will register a turn twice as fast. So that's way too fast. I think Saints 1.8 sensitivity is too high, and I think Delta's 1.4 sensitivity is too high. I would experiment with somewhere around 1.1 up until 1.2, realistically for all of you. That way it gives you a little bit faster of a turn, but you are still in control of your car. So the idea is you need to be in complete control of your car in order to make whatever touch you want to on the ball. So if you're not in control of your car, you will not be able to make controlled touches with the ball, especially in high speed situations. So you need to be in control of your car. Just experiment with it. One's not terrible. I just don't know that many people that play with just one. Field of view is, I'm going to tell you, too close. I would not go lower than 108. I've played at 108s. I played a lot with 109. I keep pushing myself back to 110 because that gives me more information. But 107 might be too close. If it feels like you're too close, you're losing information. For camera settings, you have one of two things. For your instance, you might be losing too much information and you're gaining better touches on the ball because you're closer to the ball. Your car is bigger. You're able to see where you're hitting the ball and where your car is. But let's say Saint, who has a distance of 400, his car looks like a matchbox. All right, what he's sacrificing is his ability to make better touches. He has a lot of information, but he's sacrificing that his mechanics for it, which is a big issue. Yours, you might be a little too close. Height is fine, pitch is fine, distance is good. Delta might have you on the stiffness 1. I would experiment with that too. It does play a little bit of a role. It is preference, but it does play a little bit on how you feel with the ball. I normally have mine around 0.5, 0.6, 0.7. It really depends. But everything else looks good. It was a really good replay. Hopefully you learned something from it. Hopefully you guys improve. Maybe the next replay I get will be you guys in champ. All right, good stuff.